Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. My page is about common sense, but I try to keep it down under the nitty gritty, under 10 minutes. And if it goes over 10 minutes, there's something very fucking important. My videos are not pertaining to the masses of asses. I repeat, my videos are not pertaining and not necessary or important to the masses of asses, because I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. Most people don't have the attention span of more than 5 minutes anyway. But anyway, hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. My page is about common sense, but I try to keep it down nitty gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, there's something very fucking important. And not important to liberals, libertards, people believe in God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT. Listener's discretion is advised. Going down the rabbit hole, not up your asshole. If you have any comments, questions, insults, or roasters, you put that shit down below. Alright? I want you guys to watch this video. I'm going to pause it periodically. And I'm going to tell you straight up, this is a crazy story. Okay? So let's begin with the video. And as I said before, my videos are eccentric and unique. I do not seek, I am not ambitious. I'm a father figure, a therapist. I'm all sorts of things you don't know. But let's get on with the video. Put this back here. Okay, let's go take this down here and play.
Tonight, the shocking story of a 3-year-old who wandered from a Dothan daycare and walked to a nearby store. The mother of that little boy, named Sir Paxton, says it was almost an hour before she found out what happened. News 4's Jacqueline Lambert is digging for facts and getting reaction from that emotional mom and the daycare where her son escaped. Jacqueline?
Escaped?
Yes, Kinsley. While Jasmine Najee is upset about what happened, she is also thankful her little boy was not hurt. Now, she is blaming that daycare for what happened.
3-year-old Sir Paxton walked out of Kiddie Care Learning Center unsupervised on Tuesday.
The door adjacent to the potty leads to the playground. So he went out of the back door and climbed a 6-foot fence, crossed an access road, a pickup delivery road, and a pharmacy line, and went into Walmart.
An employee who knew little Paxton saw he was headed to the checkout with Hot Wheels and snacks and kept him safe until police and daycare workers arrived. Jasmine claimed those workers didn't call her until 5 o'clock, almost an hour after her son escaped.
Her son escaped? The son didn't escape. The child just did what she wasn't supposed to do. It wasn't supposed to go outside. Okay. And then that's the first strike. The child told the person in charge there. And then went out the back door without supervision. This child, I've met children like this. I swear to God, you have to blame the child in this situation. Went out the back door with no one watching. No one supervising the child. Knowing the child knew. That's a demon child. I swear to God they exist. Listen. The thing is that what's going to happen here is that it should just be an apology, okay? And then they should talk to the mother about disciplining her child, because that's what it comes down to, okay? Because the child just didn't understand that the demon child needs some supervision by a parent, okay? So my child would never wander around without my permission anywhere. And just look at her face, okay? Let's look at her. I think it's a setup. I truly think that either two things happen. It's a setup. Okay, she told her child to go over the gate so she can try to sue him. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. I ain't saying she's guilty. I'm just trying. Look at her face. I've met women who look like this, and they are not right. They're not right. Okay. I'm just saying, majority of the time, I've encountered women who basically look like this, and they are deadbeat mothers for sure. And then on top of that, I used to babysit, okay? And I've encountered little bad ass apple kids. I encountered them. I even still meet them to this day, up to the age of 15. Smoking with their parents. They say whatever the fuck they want. They're the true hood rat little hooligans, I call them. They need to be put to sleep. They need to be put to sleep, like Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson said that. He said that they need to be put to sleep. They can't be rescued. I'm telling you, you have to blame the child. So what should the daycare do? What they're going to do is raise the gate. And the child, there's children who will climb that gate too. Lock the doors, okay? And then there's going to be a safety measure on the daycare or a fire hazard. So what can they do? What can they do? The daycare should not apologize, but they are going to do that. And they tried to blame the child, which was right, because why is the child lingering away from the other children? Okay? I just think she just should take them out and don't try to sue them and all that stuff. Causing tax people money, okay? Just to get some reparations for her ass. Because I encountered women like this. I'm telling you from my experience. And I've encountered demon children before. And they were right by blaming the child. They were like, okay, we'll take more measures. Okay, we apologize, but you ain't getting no money from us. Okay, that child would have never been harmed. Demon children are never harmed unless they do crime when they get older. Demon children are never harmed until they do crime. When they reach an age after 15, after all of that nonsense they were getting from their single mother syndrome, or I call it the George Floyd syndrome, because there's a whole lot of terminology I use, okay, which I hope y'all catch on to. The George Floyd syndrome, okay. You know, I'm joking. I see a bunch of niggas getting choked because they're resisting arrest. It's not the cops' fault that they're squirming around or some shit and then they get choked. Okay, it's just the death that needed to be happening. Okay, it needed to happen because you're moving around too much, and I don't think it's really that anyway. Okay, you got to put pressure on some of them. They just squirm around so much. They didn't have a father figure. They already have a whole list of criminal offenses, and they still live. They let them out. I don't know. I think I blame the court systems for being too lenient on obvious criminals. Okay, you know, you check a psychological, you see their background. Sometimes I believe the court systems let criminals out on purpose. But let's finish this video, please. I'm not saying she's innocent. Okay, I'm not saying she's guilty. But I goddamn know for sure that the daycare is not at fault here. And if I could be a lawyer, I would defend for them daycare. Sometimes little kids do rambunctious things that cannot be seen because you can't possibly watch those little bastards. Not all of them. You can't watch them. Some of them are very rambunctious. I have a cat she'll jump on things randomly for no apparent reason. I call her Ramby, but she's kind of cute. She didn't destroy nothing because I got rid of her. Okay. But Ramby, it reminds me of this video too. I'm like, what the hell is the child jumping, climb the fucking gate, went across the street nonchalantly. They got cameras. They have to have cameras around the facility. Okay, right? But let's finish watching this video, okay? Let's finish watching this video. It's just 2 minutes long, okay, you know?
Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call authorities?
Why did you call?
When the daycare arrived at the establishment, the first question was, what is going to happen to me?
Yeah.
And they requested the police not to be called.
Yeah.
Not, is he okay? Was he harmed?
Of course.
To add insult to injury, the mother says an email sent to parents seemed to place blame on her 3-year-old. However, Jasmine is only looking for one thing from the people she entrusted with her child's safety.
Just some accountability, responsibility.
That's your job. See the thing? The catch-22 here, the irony of fucking narcissists. They don't know about accountability themselves, but they'll always try to blame someone else. Right? She know her child is a little demon child. And you know what? I would recommend a facility for these type of children, but I'm pretty sure they don't exist. Maybe juvenile detention center, especially when they get older, because the mothers are not going to raise them correctly. She's not going to be held accountable. She's not going to say, okay, yeah, my child is kind of going towards that direction of autism or some kind of uncontrollable emotion that I can't control. So there should be some sort of facility for that. But I'm pretty sure the daycare didn't have all those stipulations involved before they even involved. It is all little children are the same. I kind of blame some of the fault for not having all of their standards high, or a psychological evaluation that should have been done before you. To me, I'm just too paranoid. I would never watch someone's children without everything being monitored and screened, right? Because that's all I had. I always had cameras watching over me, okay? Many years, man. Many years. I would do that now. Because, there's always gold diggers or 304s they're trying to scheme by. They're smart, man. They'll use their kids to steal. That's a fucking fact, okay? But I'm going to say it. I'm going to blame the child in this scenario here. All right? Because this should be no suing of a daycare. Both people should apologize. I apologize for my behavior on my child. And the daycare should say, I apologize. We're going to make things more stricter and see how the system kicks in when we do psychological evaluations on demon children. Okay, y'all don't know about demon children? I've encountered them all my life when I was younger. Not all my life. I'm 50 years old, but I know about 5-10% of my life when I was babysitting in the past. I've encountered them. I had one time, I remember I gave this game to this kid. He was only 7 years fucking old. I gave this game, and he lost my instruction booklet. Now, the mother paid me services for watching the boys, okay, and yada, yada, yada. I told her, as long as you got cameras, I'm safe. You got cameras, I'm safe. This is way back then. She had a little one of those baby monitor things, and I said, hey, I'm doing my job. I'm not sleeping on the job. I do not play around with my money. Just pay me cash money, right? And this boy lost, and now I felt that she was kind of wrong for being too hard on him. I just felt that if there's no father around, where's the discipline at? But that boy did lose my instruction manual to my Spy Hunter game. I remember that till this day. She wanted a relationship with me, and I said, no, I can't. I'm too professional about that. Okay? But when she started screaming on the kid, that boy was innocent. He wasn't a badass little kid or nothing like that. You just lost it. I wasn't mad. Okay? She said she'll pay me, and I said, no, don't worry about it, I still love that game. The first Spy Hunter for the PlayStation 2. Y'all remember that game? That game is fire. I didn't like the second one too much. But that's beside the topic. Let's finish this video.
Like, did happen. Some form of not being accountable happened, and you send out an email. And pretty much you're holding my 3-year-old accountable.
Yeah.
For wanting to go to Walmart to get snacks.
No, it's not about going to Walmart. It's about you telling your child to stay put. Don't talk to, I'm pretty sure she don't tell her child, don't talk to strangers. But that child just went out there like, yo, we don't care. We don't know nothing about, my daughters know everything about the world right now. They know that when they talk to someone, they're opening themselves up to the demon. They don't know that person. They don't know psychologicals. They don't know how to analyze people. They know by fact, then by far, that humans are not to be trusted. They know that. They saw all of the crimes y'all have done. There's no way. That's why I'm taking them outside of the country. I do not play around with Americans or Westernized civilizations. I don't do that. Okay, I'm too alpha now. I'm thinking like 10 steps ahead. I don't want my daughters in no kind of trouble. They are too innocent and too smart. They will not fall for the same temptations. And if they do, they're just being human. But let's finish this video.
But he should have been able to act on it.
I know. Climbing the gate and opening the door.
Since this incident, Paxton no longer attends this daycare. Jasmine says she has not heard an apology from the daycare, and she hopes moving forward some form of preventative measure will be put in place to prevent this from happening again.
They did apologize.
Jacqueline Lambert, thank you for that report. News 4 did reach out to the daycare for comment. The daycare's owner, Keisha Saffold, had this to say, quote, I am deeply sorry to the child in our care, the parents, and those affected by this situation. I regret this happened. This mama put...
See, that's the apologies to her. And to all the other parents, too. She said they didn't apologize. Here it is. That's your apology. She should apologize, too. And then it should let bygones be bygones.
Trust in us to care for her child, and we failed her. I promise you.
I blame the daycare for not doing the psychologicals before they enter, but they shouldn't be sued, okay? It's a natural, common sense thing you should do. You should protect yourself at all times. And people trust too much. There are mentally ill people out there. There are people who are unstable, and they need to be tested to make sure they don't get out of control. I blame the daycare just a little bit because they didn't do all this. They didn't have their standards high. They were beta in that area, but it's still overall not their fault. Overall, it's not their fault because there are some Some people out of the spitting image of the devil. Oh my fucking God. Yeah.
Taking the steps to make sure that nothing like this happens again, end quote. Suffold went on to say the daycare is revising its safety policy.
They gonna put spikes on the gates because of this woman. Yo, I'm like, what the hell happened, man? Yo, just even if it's 6 foot, it doesn't matter. The boy just went to the back and said, "Freak this, fuck this. I'm jumping over this gate, okay? And I'm going. I'm not going to procrastinate to get me a snack and a fucking matchbox." She must be living in the hood, man. But that thing is, I was like, I do not believe in daycares and public schools. I do cyber school. That's alpha right there. I just made a video. I told you before, a lot of times, people aren't alpha. They don't know how to think alpha. They don't plan ahead. They don't have to take the steps. They don't do any research on how to protect themselves. All right? You know, I tell people all the time, isn't it alpha to homeschool your children? Even if you're a single mother, just get a babysitter. It's far more safer. And on top of that, I'm with, let me see. I want to give y'all some advice here. Go to Cyber Reach. So it's called Cyber Reach. They pay you about $1,000 every year to raise your children at home. Yeah, they give you all the tools and necessary. Just know how to use a computer by 50%. Okay, that's all you need to know. You know, you can get on there and talk. Use the phone, talk to the teachers. All right? But this is a crazy story, guys. A fucking crazy-ass story. Other than that, I hope you learned something from this video, that there are such things as demon children, especially closer living near the hood. There are people with certain types of autism, okay? You can research about it yourself. Everyone's autistic in some form of way or another. Too extreme, less extreme. That's all it is. All it is. The books are always changing. The medical books are always changing. Don't try me, please. I know there's more than 2 sexes. There's an intersex. Yes, there is. Variations. And they have to be born that way. They're born that way. Okay? I'm not talking about trannies, okay, or anything like that. Okay? That's something completely different. Okay? When I say there's multiple sexes, there are multiple sexes who are born. And, you know, they call it an abnormality. Okay? But it doesn't matter. There are people who are born like that. Other than that, guess what I'm going to say? Bastard children do exist, and also demon children do exist. What is the solution to the conclusion? Because I always give a solution first. Instead of being long with it, what you should be doing is educating on the psychologicals of your child and yourself. Everyone around you have to do it. That's an education. If you can just build yourself up and focus on who you are and your boundaries and your limits and your tolerance level, you'll be a better off person. Compartmentalizing your emotions is alpha. You must be able to do that. So if I call you a beta, you should ask a question before you get offended. Like, yo, why you calling me beta, man? I'm like, because you just said this and that in this department. You're beta. I'm a beta when it comes down to cars. I know a little bit about the cars. I know how to change my own spark plugs. I know how to change my own tire. I got to change my oils and liquids and fluids. But I'm a beta when it comes to the overall aspect of a car, okay? The big parts of the car, which I need to take to a goddamn mechanic, okay? In a shop, okay? But other than that, everyone's beta at something. But just too many people are too beta. You're too beta. Too beta. Okay? Get offended, Kenshin. Kenshin is the immortal swordsman who can cut through anything, okay? Y'all don't know about Kenshin Himura, Samurai X. Watch them all, okay? Y'all don't know who Kenshin Himura is, the invincible swordsman who learned from a swordsman who was just so masterful, and he can just cut through anything. There is no defense. If he gets angry, like the Hulk, that's the end of you. But Kenshin Himura is the most strongest samurai there is. He has 2 sides. He has the Jekyll and Hyde. He has a reverse blade sword, okay? And then the real sword. He used to be an assassin, a young buck assassin. And it's based on a true story, too, as I read some accounts, okay? This is a young swordsman master, okay? Other than that, that's all I'm really going to say. Because, what? I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. Your one and true, only immobility psychopath. No one is like me on the internet. That is alpha, to be a psychopath. Not the bad one. But I'd rather be like Mr. Raymond Rennington on the Blacklist, the most powerful fucking psychopath of all time. Okay? I hate that ending, though. I can't forget it. The Blacklist. Go watch it on Netflix before they remove it. It is actually more entertaining to watch than Breaking Bad. Okay? I like Breaking Bad. There was only one episode I didn't really like in Breaking Bad. But The Blacklist has too many seasons and too many episodes that far supersedes Breaking Bad. But to each his own. Go watch it on Netflix. Have a nice day. Because... Saul. Because I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. That little bastard child, that child deserves a whipping. That child deserves a whipping, peoples. Okay? And you know what? I was in the post office one day, and I saw a child. This happened in Walgreens, too. When children was acting a fool, talking to the mother, like... And then there was no whipping. She was like, my child is... Both of them said the same thing. My child is autistic. And I'm like, I don't care. You can't let that child just start knocking things down. No, you can't bring that child out. That's your fault for laying with a man who's probably autistic himself. You have the autistic gene. Have y'all seen them demon children? Do you know what a demon child is? You better investigate that. I think they're the destruction of humanity. Destruction of humanity. Woo! So I'm going to title this video, Demon Child. Okay? Demon Child. Okay, alright? These are what demon children look like. Alright? And I don't think it's a psychological issue. It's just the parents. Okay, it's parents should be accountable for all things. When the children do something, there should be video recordings of stuff. Okay, you can't now these days. You need video recordings. You got to put it in your house. You got to put it outside your house, and you have to have it on your body. You got to carry bear spray on you just in case if dogs attack you or a thug attacks you. You just literally got to have that on standby. There's no talking. Okay, when it comes to self-defense. Just get away. Get away. Peace.